Hello everybody, and today is my 100th video. And as a special for my 100th video, I have decided to do something I've been meaning to do for like quite several months, but it just take me a while. I've actually been meaning to do this since probably midsummer, but this past summer, but I just haven't found the time to either do it or take me a long time to figure it. I was actually waiting until Gen 6 was out for a few months. So I was trying to do this starting January, but just kind of been lazy. But after a while, I was like, I'll just save this for the 100th video, and actually crept up faster than I thought it would. But yeah, I actually surprised I actually made it to 100 videos. I thought I would just rage quit after like 10 videos if I got no subscribers. But 100 videos later and 30 subscribers later, here I am. I'm still here somewhat. Do I really matter on YouTube? No, not really. But for those 30 subscribers, I'm doing this for you. For the people who've been subscribed to me and watch my videos every time I have a new video out, regardless of how lame it is or how much I ramble, thank you. Now, another thing before I actually begin. There will be no fancy shenanigans. There's no clippets and there's no snippets or anything like that. There's just me rambling. So, okay, if you're not into just looking at the pictures of the Pokemon, of the things I'm gonna say yourself, then you should probably just leave. And now we have no viewers! So thank you for the people who are still watching this video, even though I'm just a rambler. So, now, as the title says, it's my top 10 derpy Pokemon, Gen 1 through 6. Here are the top derpiest Pokemon. Now, what I mean by derpy, these are just Pokemon you go like, what? Seriously? You just go, wow. Or it's like, or these are Pokemon that you can just look at and like you can put like a big old derp, like a speech bubble that says derp in it, like right next to them, and it'll just make perfect sense. These are Pokemon the designs just look ridiculous, where they just don't really do much, where they're just kind of pointless. But you know these Pokemon if you look at them. Now, some of these might... Now, their points are added or deducted depending on evolution line or stuff they've done in media that was cool, or something like that, or that was uncool, or something like that. So, without further ado, let's get down to the list. Number 10 is Magikarp. Of course Magikarp's going to be on this list. Of course he's on the list. I mean, all he knows is like Splash for like the first 15 moves, and he just learns even slightly better tackling moves, I guess. Flail, tackle, stuff like that. But he's not really an impressive Pokemon. He's like the king of Dirtfish. That's the crown on his head just signifies, I am the king of derpiness. Derpy, derpy, derp. Now, forgetting all the evolutions, pre-evolutions, all that nonsense, he is the derpiest Pokemon. But he's number 10 on this list, since I'm counting evolutions and a bunch of other stuff, simply because of this. He evolves into one of the most badass and scary Pokemon in all Pokemon history. That is why he's at number 10, not higher in the list. Ah, itchy nose. Ugh. For you, I did not pick my nose. I scratched the side of it. Anyway, yeah, he's number 10. Number 9 is Executor. You already know what Magikarp looks like, but if you don't know what Executor looks like, you probably haven't been playing Pokemon long enough, or you either just haven't been watching long enough, or... I mean, yeah, you haven't watched it all the way back from the days. But Executor is from Gen 1, and he's a Psychic Grass Pokemon, and evolves from Execute. Now, why would a palm tree evolve from eggs? I don't know. That alone just seems like silly. And the faces just look... What? Was the people who wrote this made up this thing on LSD when they did this? Some of the designs for the Gen 1 Pokemon are out there. I will not deny that. We're just simply kind of lazy. Voltorb, Electrode, Muck. Now people like to criticize the sword Pokemon and like the garbage Pokemon, the ice cream Pokemon. But don't forget, we had a lot of crazy dumb stuff that was in Gen 1. But nostalgia factor saves Gen 1. And this is why Executor is not higher on the list, because of he was part of the original generation. And in hindsight, he doesn't seem like he was that derpy, but I remember looking open the pack and go, he's so derpy looking. Well, I don't even know what derpy was at the time, but just, what? And that is why he is on that list, because he just, you just look at him and go, what? Alright, number 8 is Bunnelby. Now, some people are going to be mad about Bunnelby on the list, but the reason why I have Bunnelby is, even though he is cute in some regards, his buck teeth are just derp. He just comes off as extremely derpy to me. I mean, I don't know if I said this earlier, but this is more or less my opinion, exclusively my opinion. But Bunnelby is just so derpy looking to me. He's the cutest derpy Pokemon you will ever see. I will not deny that. He's cute and derpy. He's that weird kind of mixture, and that is why he's not higher in the list. Another thing is that his evolution is derpy but scary looking. I don't know how to. It's like, I don't want to touch that. There's some really good designs in Generation 6, in my opinion. Diggersby is not a good. Not in my opinion. To me, bunnies are always been kind of either cute or derpy. Sometimes the perfect combination of cute and derpy, and this bunnies go, whoa, oh. And sometimes they just can come off as extremely derpy, sometimes they're cute, and Bunnelby just puts the best of both worlds, and that's why he's not higher on the list, and that's why he is at the perfect spot he is. Number 7, Wooper. Those beady little eyes, man. And that smile. He's from Generation 3. I don't know how to describe. He just looks so derpy. He's like, hi. Derp, 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 derp. He would actually be close to the top spot on the list if it weren't for his evolution, who's also equally pretty derpy as well. But his evolution, I play the newest Pokemon game. And if you haven't played the newest Pokemon, not the Pokemon game, but the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, then he's probably going to be higher on the list. But since I played it, Quasar is a derpy, but he's also kind of a badass in a way, like criminal kind of respects him. And people who like are cool looking and kind of, ah man, they're kicking some A. They just nod at him, like, and they know who he is. Like, how is this guy? But he's so, it's just weird. But I thought he kind of became my favorite character in that game, and that's why Wooper is number 7. 6, Lickilicky. I don't even know where to begin with Lickilicky. He's in Generation 4, the most forgettable generation, in my personal opinion. But he was discovered in Jay Witch's most terrible Pokemon designs, I think. And I think he is right. Lickilicky is just the derpiest Pokemon. One of the most derpiest Pokemon I ever seen. I mean, he's really derpy, but at the same time, he's not notoriously derpy like some of the higher Pokemon on this list are. Don't get me wrong, Lickilicky is really high. Lickilicky is high as he can be simply because of the fact that he's not notorious for being derpy. He's kind of forgettable in that kind of section. But really, he's really derpy. You just can't. But at the same time, it's more bad design, in my opinion, than derp. But that's just my personal opinion. And let's go to number 5. Flame Shield. Up! Mudkip. Okay, now, before we begin, People who love their Mudkips, you cannot deny that Mudkip is derpy. Everyone's like, ooh, cool, Torchic's awesome. Ooh, cool, Treecko's awesome. Their evolutions are awesome. And there's Swampert, Mudkip who eventually evolves in Swampert, and everyone's like, oh, he's not that awesome. Then as time goes on, like, I think it started like 2008 or 9, where all the fanboys of Mudkip started growing up a little, like, what? Mudkip is not derpy. He's not derpy. I like my Mudkips. Like, there's like a Mudkip fan base, and then there's like the whole entire, do you like your Mudkips? Movement going on, and like, that's my dog. And everyone's like, he's derpy. No, he's not. Derpy. No, he's not. That's why Mudkip is as high on this list as he is. He's notoriously derpy, but he's so popular that he can't be even derpier than he is. I mean, honestly, he's a more popular version than Wooper, and Wooper's kind of more derpy in a different sense, but at the same time, he's not, because Mudkip is known for being derpy. And I kind of had to put him on this high as this list as he was. And also, because I really always, when I first played the Pokemon Gen 3 games, I had a choice between Draco, who looks really sick, and then Torchic. No, that's a girl Pokemon. And then there's Mudkip. I'll go with Treecko. Because I was 10, I think 12. I was like, oh, I want this cool, but I want this badass. I don't want a derpy, and I don't want a chick Pokemon. Literally. And that's why Mudkip is as high as this list. Number 4, Dunsparce. Yeah. Some of you are going, what's a Dunsparce? Seriously, I've known people who are as old as I am, has been Pokemon fans as long as I have, and then go Dunsparce. And they sit there and go, is that a new Pokemon? No. And I show them the image of Dunsparce, and they just go look at him. And they go, that's a derpy-ass Pokemon. Who is he again? He was in Gen 2. What? He's absolutely the most forgettable Pokemon in Pokemon history. He's so forgettable. I mean, his design is just so simple, but it's derpy. I was telling to one of my friends at a local card shop, and like, Dunsparce is so derpy, and he's like, Dunsparce, you're just chilling there, man. What did it ever do to you? It's not what it ever did to me. It's whatever did it do? That's the real question. It doesn't have an evolution. It doesn't have a particularly good moveset. It's not cool at all. It's never been in the anime, really. It's just there. It's really derpy, but at the same time, I can't put it any higher on this list simply because of the fact that it's not really notoriously derpy, and people forget about it way too easily. Because if it was derpier, then people would have remembered it. But it's really derpy, but it's not derpy enough for people to like remember it. Which gains me to my next one. Slowpoke. Now, you guys knew this Pokemon would be on this list as well. He's just slow. Poke. That's how he says his name. It takes him like 5 seconds between, like, actually 3 seconds, but I assume it would be actually longer in real life. The reason why it's not longer in the anime is because they're not Dragon Ball Z, and they won't just take an entire episode. I actually think it would take an entire episode if Slowpoke actually did exist for them to say their name. They're just so slow, and just that permanent derpy ass smile. But at the same time, they're really, really derpy looking. And so is their evolution, both of them. Even Slowking looks a little derpy. Slowbro is even derpier in a sense. And it's again not. But this Slowpoke Slowpoke looks more stoned to hell than Derpy. He's, like, you should just call him the stoner Pokemon, because that's just, he just looks permanently stoned for life. Ugh. And he's from Gen 1, and the reason why he's not high on the list is because, well, people do remember him for being derpy. Just nostalgia saves him. And then we go to number 2, Bidoof. Bidoof is just... what? You know who Bidoof is. I really don't need to explain how derpy he is. People made so many jokes, but at the same time, there's a huge-ass fan base for him, for, like, same reason why Mudkip. He's just so derpy that people go, no, he's not derpy. Plus, he was in one of the first Pokemon you met in Diamond and Pearl. And when one of the kids goes like, my first Pokemon I ever caught was a Bidoof. Like, I feel sorry for you. It's like, oh yeah, my first Pokemon wasn't a furret. It's like, wasn't a Sentret. It's like, Sentrets are awesome, dude. What the hell are you talking about? It's like, even people who love Bidoof, they'll admit that he's derpy. That's the fun part about that. They'll jokingly defend him, but they really will admit that he is kind of derpy. Except for the hardcore fans, but for the most part, Mudkip fans will go, no, he's not derpy. Mudkips are not derpy at all. Derp. But Bidoof is just... Bidoof is also really derpy. Now I think about it, a lot of the Pokemon on the list are either normal, water, or ground types. Makes you wonder. Just makes you wonder a little bit. Right? But, like I said, the reason why he's not higher is because of not nostalgia, but simply because that people like him to the point where he's too popular to be the #1 derpy Pokemon. He's up there. Now let's get down to the honorable mentions before we get to number 1. Psyduck. Just wasn't derpy enough. Just more stumped looking than derpy. Seal. He had a permanent derpiness, but I couldn't find a place to put him on the list. Delibird. Just more silly than anything. Coughing. Looked more stoned than derp. Pelipper. I really couldn't find him a place on the either. Gulplin. Too simple. Wishcast. Had a more stoned, more than anything. Pignite. More of a lame. More just more quirky than derp. Subat. More what the hell than derp. Pulpitoad. Just more than derp. Garbodor. More. Actually, I really did want to put Garbodor on this list. I just couldn't find a place to put him on the list. And Vanilluxe, same thing. Patrat, more hideous than anything. Qualadin, same thing with Pignite. Swirlix, more wet than anything. Goodra, he's a dragon, so if he wasn't a dragon, I would actually put him on the list. But the fact that he's a dragon just saves his butt completely. Klefki, somehow he's a good Pokemon, and he's not really that derpy. He's more of a silly, and actually, a lot of people are actually starting to grow attachment to him and think like he's not really derpy. You just misunderstood him. Gourgeist, it's kind of fine the place. And now we're gonna do a recap. Number 10, Magikarp. Number 9, Executor. Number 8, Bunnelby. Number 7, Wooper. Number 6, Lickilicky. Number 5, Mudkip. Number 4, Dunsparce. Number 3, Slowpoke. Number 2, Bidoof. And number 1, what can be the number 1? Think of the derpiest Pokemon that you can from Generation 5. That's right, Generation 5. Generation 5, 4, and 5 are the worst character designs in my opinion. Generation 6 is a breath of fresh air. But they try to forget about some just a hot mess that just when everyone look, what? You still don't know what he is? Well, you should know what he is by now. It's a ground type Pokemon. He doesn't even have an evolution. He's a thunder type. His name it's Stunfisk. If you don't know what Stunfisk is, just Google him real quick. Pokemon Stunfisk. And you would just see a bird that just got flattened to the ground. That's what it looks like to me. And he just has the perfect he has the perfect dirt face. He is so perfect. It's almost as Pokemon just said, alright, this generation is going to be really shitty. Let's try to think of a derpy Pokemon. It's like, how about Slowpoke, but derpier? Bidoof? Worse. Like, how are we going to make that worse? They said, alright, let's take the derpiness of Slowpoke and Bidoof, of all the Pokemon, and put the memorability factor of Dunsparce. And there you go, Stunfisk. He's not memorable at all. It's kind of just there, my opinion. But at the same time, unlike Dunsparce, he's derpy enough where people actually do remember him. It's like they took Dunsparce too far, in my opinion. I think he actually has, like, no, he doesn't, but, my god. So incredibly derpy. It's insane how derpy this Pokemon looks. I mean, this is mostly my opinion, but I think most people agree with me that Dunsparce is probably the derpiest Pokemon ever made. In existence. Ever. I mean, I don't think they'll ever make a Pokemon that'll top the derpiness of Stunfisk. I mean, this doesn't include, like, future generations, because I don't think anything will ever top it. Granted, I didn't think anyone will ever top Slowpoke, but both Bidoof and Stunfisk eventually did it, so it's possible, I guess. I think the only way you can actually do it, you give, like, Stunfisk a sick evolution, and you give, like, make Dunsfisk worse than a normal type, because normal type to me is like the ultimate derpy. There's just a bunch of quirky random Pokemon that Game Freak did not know what the hell to do with, in my opinion. So yeah. That's my list. It took me 23 minutes about, and I'm pretty sure no one's left or even gets to see this part. But thank you. Please like, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think is. What do you think is the derpiest Pokemon ever? Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? Do you think a Pokemon on this list should have been on there but wasn't? Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and have a nice time.